Hey, everybody, it's right around the corner. I mean, not only Christmas, but trash talk. It's in fact, trash talk isn't around the corner anymore.
Trash Talk's here.
We're right here. So Christmas is around the corner.
I know.
So it's the fun season where everybody, especially right like now, we got 4 days left. So it's crunch time. You're busy going through your mind saying, okay, who did I get my gifts for already, and who did I forget?
Look, I'm going to tell you right now, if I forgot you by now, you're not getting one.
That's right. Yeah, catch you next year.
Maybe.
I mean, one thing you might consider, you could go over to Patriot Sandwich Company and maybe get some gift cards, and you could give some of your fellow workers, your friends, your family, neighbors, whatever, some gift card to go over and get a great sandwich and a great meal over at Patriot Sandwich Company. So
Yeah.
that's a good one. And if pick up a couple of nice hoagies there to take home to have for the holidays. So you make sure you tell David Jordan that we said Merry Christmas and have a great holiday season. Also wanted just a shout out to our good friend Christine Dean, who is the DFW networking diva. We're heading into a new year. Everybody's going to start looking at how they can increase their business or their presence on social media. All you got to do is go to the website, schedule a free consultation with Christine, and say, hey, take a look at my website. Let me know if maybe you can make it look even better than it already is. She's a great lady. So, did you get all your shopping done?
Yeah, I'm really good at shopping because I like to spend money, but I'm I'm really good at shopping because I'm not a last minute person. Not when gifts are involved at all. I'm not a last minute person. I really get things early, like really early. I've had some Christmas stuff that I've run across for Luke since like June. So
well,
I'm good. I'm done. It's
and not
over.
only that, but there has been more and more stuff available at sale prices earlier and earlier every year. I mean,
way earlier.
Yeah, it used to be like Black Friday. The day after Thanksgiving was the shopping season for Christmas. You had one full month to get out there and do your shopping. Now, it starts before Halloween, even Labor Day. They start coming out with special stuff. You see all of the at least here in Texas, all the landscape companies. These guys come around and cut the grass and do the landscaping. They have these metallic signs, metal signs on the side of their pickup trucks. So long about Halloween or so, they take off the landscaping signs and they put Christmas tree, Christmassy installations on their trucks. So they switch over.
It works. You know what? I mean, you got to do something. And we did that back when years and years ago, when I worked for a lawn care company in Michigan. We would switch. And so during the regular season, I was selling, lawn care treatments, pest control. But then I started selling Christmas lights. It was with a company that's actually based in Lubbock, Texas. It's called Christmas Decor. And it was one of the first major companies to come in and install the lights professionally. And then you take them down and we would store them for you until next year, or you could store them at your house. But I would sell Christmas lights, and we started unfortunately around Halloween time, because in Michigan, you might have snow. So you got to get out there and you got to get them up.
Not only that, but both of us are from the Midwest. And if you had a pickup truck, you had it retrofitted for a blade on the front of your pickup truck too. So that when that snow started falling, man, you get out there and the neighbors, you start cleaning up. You'd cut their grass in the summertime, you'd plow their snow in the wintertime.
The thing with buying gifts, though, for what I think is like, I never understood why people are waiting so long. I mean, if it's a financial thing, I get it. Okay, I understand. Things come up, yeah, fine. But I don't understand, like, well, I want to wait for the deals. And I'm like, okay, but if you saw that same thing on special in July, why don't you just freaking buy it in July and be done with it? Like,
Well, I guess the mindset is that it might get reduced even further. And
but it
yes,
never does.
people will be out there in these next couple of days looking for those 50, 60, 70% off sales. And yet, a few days after Christmas, that's when you should be out there buying your Christmas lights and your
Well, yes.
ornaments and everything,
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
got to make room for the new stuff. So, you can really clean house after the holiday. And as far as the money part goes, I think a lot of people wait until just before Christmas because they go out there and they put it on the credit card and they give the gift. And then when they get the statement in the beginning of January and realize that they've gone over their limit, they already gave the gifts.
Well, that's the thing. So you got a couple things going on. One, I wouldn't gamble this year at all. I know it's gloom and doom every time we turn on the TV, but I wouldn't gamble this year with waiting to the last minute. There's things that are not in stock.
Right,
Even
supply
Amazon,
side.
even Amazon, who's the king of delivering stuff. I ordered something back in the end of October for Luke. It was like a final gift. It didn't come for like 3.5 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. And so thank God that I did, they even messaged me and said, do you want a full refund or do you want to wait? And I waited and it showed up. But so that's an issue right now. And what else is going on in our strange society. But the other thing is, as far as the credit cards go, it explains why January is so slow everywhere. Nobody's got any money.
That's right. So, I'm just curious. There's so many things about the holiday. When we were kids, and maybe Luke is the same way. If Luke was to open up an envelope and there was a gift card in there, so he wants a box with the wrapping paper and everything that he can rip open and see. Were you always that way? You always wanted to get the boxes instead of the checks?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was probably one of the oldest kids or grandchildren, so to speak, to get gifts from my grandma and papa, like gifts still.
Right.
Like, I mean, not that they didn't give to anybody else, but they always would just get gift cards and cash,
Right.
If they were going to give me something anyway, then I just wanted to open something. Luke is interesting. When he gets cards from people, he will open it up and he'll see like if there's money in there. He loves money. So, and he knows and he counts it. And then he's like, this is my money. And he instantly puts it in his wallet. Instantly, like done. And
Good.
then he's like, I'm going to go take that to the store and buy something. He likes to say, I'm going to go buy a big fat toy. That's what he says. I'm going to buy a big fat toy. And I'm like, okay. But now we're in the process of saving and he knows the bank. So sometimes if it's a lot of singles, he'll give me 2 singles and say, put this in the bank. So, but he would rather have a package. He's a kid. He wants a package.
Right. Right. Then when you get to about teenage years, all of a sudden now it's more, I think I'd rather have the gift card. Or so, plus, plus the fact that, to give a kid something that he's going to say, I don't want it and I'm not going to use it or got to return it anyway. It makes more sense. Like if the kid wants some sporting equipment, man, instead of going out and buying that basketball for him that maybe he doesn't like, get him that gift certificate to the sporting goods store, let him go over and pick out his own basketball.
Yeah. And the other thing nowadays too, is even though people still go to the stores, I still know that 90% of the shopping's done online.
Right.
Even if it's at a store, it's done online.
Yeah. You may go over to the store to check out the things that you want to buy and then you buy them online.
Yeah.
And now,
I did notice a lot of magazines this year, or not magazines, catalogs. I noticed This year, more than last year, I got a lot of store catalogs. Target, Walmart, Amazon sent their big Christmas catalog.
Yeah.
IKEA, a lot more catalogs came this year.
And it's interesting because that's big bucks for those companies to print up and
Huge.
mail out all those catalogs, as opposed to putting them online and downloading. And here's our catalog online that you can go through.
It's tangible, though. It's tangible. They probably looked at it as, number one, it used to be a big tradition.
Right.
Number two, let's change it up a little this year and show people what we have so they can physically see it, maybe get back to some nostalgia thing, reach that demographic that they're not reaching online. Yeah. And besides, who cares? Bezos was in space, so he can afford to send a freaking catalog to us.
Yeah. Well, and also at the bottom of every page in the catalog, it's got the 800 number to call or the website to go in and order anyway. So it's like you said, it's tangible in front of you, but it's going to try and drive you to your computer in order to order that stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I looked at them. I didn't really see anything different. Luke looked at them and he circled some stuff, but I was already done shopping for him, so he's screwed anyway. But you know, I don't know though. Did you watch anything new this year? Any new Christmas movies?
No, I mean, every once in a while, Lauren likes, the Hallmark Channel or something, or Lifetime and all, and they come out with a new twist on the same old Christmas story. I mean, it's how it's going to end up. Girl meets guys she knew in high school, and then they get together, and then have Christmas together. But I think I prefer going back to the classics. I mean, even as far back as going to It's a Wonderful Life. But, I just watched the other day, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Classic.
I mean, I never get enough of that. I never get enough of Home Alone.
Oh, speaking of Home Alone, I love Home Alone. And Luke loves it too. He's been watching that since he was like 2.
Yeah.
He just thinks it's funny watching the guys get hurt. And it is funny.
Yeah. Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci.
They were great.
The two key guys.
You know what's funny about that? So this year, I don't know if you know this or not, Disney put out a new Home Alone on Disney Plus. I don't know, it's a remake reboot. It's not Macaulay Culkin, obviously, because he's 40. It has nothing to do with it. It's some new British kid, and it's a different story, different criminals.
Just the same name.
I got to be honest with you. I haven't watched it. I refuse out of protest. But I'm like, how can, and their logic was, well, the other one's outdated. Maybe we can spruce it up a little to modern times. But I'm like, exactly. But my 4-year-old doesn't think that one's outdated. So why do you need to outdate? So are we going to redo It's a Wonderful Life? Are we going to redo, you know what I mean? Like, it's frustrating.
Yeah. But some of those old classics. Now, I'm probably the only person in the entire world that has never seen the movie Elf.
What?
A lot. I don't know why.
It's a great movie.
I've always missed it, but I'm going to catch it this year. It's got to be on at least 20 different channels.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max, and I know it's on Peacock for sure. But oh my God, yeah. Look, even if you don't like Will Ferrell, to me, this was such a modern day. It became a Christmas classic because I looked at it from a story standpoint, and it's a cool story.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to catch that one. But sitting down and watching the movies, getting out the hot chocolate and a big bag of popcorn and everything. I mean, that's part of what Christmas is all about. And then you got Christmas dinners that you either cook yourself or you go to somebody else's place. And frankly, I like staying home, just laying low.
Me too.
But do you go to Christmas parties?
No, not anymore. I don't. The word party really doesn't go in my vocabulary anymore. I don't. I used to back in the day. I used to host a party every year.
Yeah.
not on Christmas, but around that time with friends. We used to get together every year and it was just a Christmas gathering. It wasn't about gifts. It was just, but no, yeah, it was definitely about drinking, definitely. And I would usually come up with like some sort of cocktail for the night or whatever. No, I really don't. I'll get together with the guys, my crew, and we'll have a night. We'll drink and try different Christmas beers and just hang out. Maybe I'll make a little dish.
Well,
Nothing.
The places where you work, do they have office parties anymore?
I got to tell you, and I don't want to be Scrooge, but I am. No, they don't care. Look, I got to be honest with you.
Well, a lot of offices, the cost that a lot of offices used to invest in having an office party, they'd rather give a little Christmas bonus.
No, they wouldn't. That is such bull crap. No, they wouldn't. Let me tell you.
But the thought was there.
They thought about it and said, forget it. You got places that are staying open on Christmas because they're greedy. You got places that stayed open on Thanksgiving because they're greedy. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care if I get fired or not. Don't ever go to a place that's open on a holiday unless you're going to help them out, to drop off some food or tip them good. Right. Leave them alone so they can have an easy day and get out of there.
Right.
It makes me furious.
Yeah. And I always wonder, was it the people that are working that day, was it just simply because it was the holiday and it was probably time and a half or double time? They figure I could probably use the extra bucks.
Sometimes, look, so I worked a Christmas Eve before, a couple of them, and that was back when I was bartending, and I made fat cash. I would make what I made in one night, I would have made in like 2 weeks, big time. Sometimes, yeah, it is that. Sometimes people don't have really anybody around. Like when I first moved to Texas, I mean, I didn't go back home. My family wasn't here. My son wasn't around. You know what I mean? So then sometimes though, people just get forced. I got to be honest with you. And I'm not saying this about all employers. Sometimes what I've seen over the past several years with employers, it's really disheartening. Sometimes they just put you on the schedule and they don't care.
Well, are they still riding the COVID thing? Hey, listen, man, we'd love to be able to do something for all of you this year, but
yes.
But the bottom line just is hurt.
Yes. Yeah, they're hurting. They're hurting. Sure they are.
Yeah.
You know what the thing is? It doesn't have to be a lot. Like I was talking to somebody the other day about the Christmas gathering. Like it doesn't have to be a big corporate party, catered in. What if you just closed the store early one night? You bought some pizzas, put some music on, everybody changed into their t-shirt and jeans or whatever, and y'all just hung out.
Right.
And just played some cards and just talked. That little gesture goes so far with employees because they just want to feel appreciated and they just want to feel bonded. That's why I'm a big adamant guy. I know that there's a Starbucks there's a Starbucks everywhere, but there's a Starbucks right across from one of my jobs. And the guy told me, the manager, he's like, dude, we're open on Christmas. And I'm like, what? But the day before, I'm going to go in, I'm going to do something for him. I try to do something for him anyway. They're short-staffed. I mean, beyond short-staffed. They're working hard. I want to go take care of them. So I think like if people go out the day, like Christmas Eve or Christmas Day to get something, man, just understand that no matter what these people are going through, if they believe in the holiday or not, they've got to be there. We should all give a little grace,
And also, if you got a few of those extra bucks, get some singles, you go out and you get that coffee, you're getting those donuts or whatever, put a couple of extra bucks in somebody's hand and say, hey, thanks a lot and Merry Christmas.
And just be nice.
Yeah. When did we forget about that part of it?
Right. Can we just say thank you and please? And that's what this holiday is about. It should be about connection and appreciation,
That's right. Well, if you haven't gotten your Christmas tree yet, they probably got pretty good deals on them right now. And you got a couple of days to get them decorated.
Yeah. Charlie Brown got one.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And so strap one on the top of the car and head on home, get the gifts underneath the trees,
Yeah.
get the eggnog chilled, and have a great holiday, and come back and see us again next week. And gosh, get finished with Christmas, and then all of a sudden we start making the plans for New Year's. So that's probably what we'll talk about next week.
I'm sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So go out, make it a good one, and Merry Christmas.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
Happy
Merry
holidays
Christmas.
to everybody from both Brandon and I, and the entire staff here at Trash
All of
Talk.
All of them.
Go, y'all take the day off.
Yeah, go ahead.